A federal appeals court panel on Friday unanimously upheld a law that could lead to a ban on TikTok in a few short months. The U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit denied TikTok's position to overturn that law, which requires TikTok to break ties with its China-based parent company ByteDance or be banned in the U.S. by mid-January. It also shot down the company's challenge of that statute, which it argued defied the First Amendment. Joining us now to talk more about that ongoing legal battle is trial attorney Tad Thomas. Tad, great to have you today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, what's your opinion? Was that decision fair, or was this truly a violation of the First Amendment?
I think it was fair, and the fact that it was unanimous, you have three judges on that panel. One is actually a Reagan appointee going way back. One is an Obama appointee, and one is a Trump appointee. So you have a broad political spectrum here looking at this. So this was not a political issue. And one of the things they pointed out was the fact that the government spent years, both the executive branch and legislative branch, looking at TikTok, looking at what the problems were, and looking for other solutions. And when there were no other realistic solutions to protect Americans' data, that's when this law was passed. And I think the court appropriately upheld the law.
Hey, Tad, let's take a look at this court opinion from Judge Douglas Ginsburg, which says, here the government acted solely to protect that freedom from a foreign adversary and to limit that adversary's ability to gather data on people in the United States. So legally, what actually can TikTok do now to show the court that it's not the threat that the judge is outlining?
Under the law, they have to divest. ByteDance, the parent company, is held in China by Chinese owners, by the Chinese government, and is influenced by the Chinese government. The only way for TikTok under the law now to survive is for them to divest the company and have other owners, and it can still be foreign owners. They just cannot be adversaries. It can't be China. It can't be Russia. It can't be Iran, for example. But someone in Britain or Spain could own this company. Someone in the United States could own this company. But that would be the only path. What TikTok is saying in their paperwork is that's not possible, and that the algorithms that are controlled by the Chinese government can't be spun off into another company. So they're going to, bank on the U.S. Supreme Court taking this up.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That is expected to be the next step, is bring this to the Supreme Court, ask them to take up the case before the sale deadlines ends January 19th. What do you see in your crystal ball coming next when that Supreme Court takes it up, or a different alternative to that?
So with the Supreme Court, I wouldn't be surprised if the Supreme Court declines to take it. The fact that this was a unanimous decision, it was a very well-reasoned decision, relying on, a lot of amicus briefs by multiple parties. The Supreme Court could look at this and say, hey, this was appropriately handled. We agree with the law. We agree with the interpretation of the law, and decline review. Then it falls to the Trump administration. As you may have pointed out, the Trump administration initially started down this path of banning TikTok from Chinese owners and making this divestiture. But in recent months, over the campaign, he's taken a little bit of a different tack. So, given the trade war that's brewing between China and the United States and the rhetoric that's going on, it very well may be that TikTok becomes another chip that is used in negotiations.
Hey, let's get away from some of this legal talk because, frankly, a lot of people are just wondering how this might impact them. So if TikTok is banned, right, let's fast forward to the future, what repercussions could actually happen for Americans who still want to use the app, who just go ahead and say, forget about it, I'm still using it?
It's going to probably exist for some period of time, but my understanding of the law, the functional way that it would work is it starts coming off of the platform. So, for instance, the Apple Store wouldn't be able to sell it, or Google Store wouldn't be able to sell it. You wouldn't be able to download it. And so as time goes on, it's going to steadily get eroded.
All right, Tad Thomas, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see just how this one plays out. I know so many people use TikTok, and they're probably, frankly, a little sad at the possibility that it might go away. But based on these judges' decisions, it sounds like they believe it's for the best interest of our country. But again, thank you.
National security.
Yeah, and national security. Okay.